Hello, and welcome to Thrive with a Five, brought to you by Greater Manchester's Business Compliance Support. We will be taking you through what an environmental health officer will be looking at during a food hygiene inspection, and how you can get the best chance of getting a high food hygiene rating. Business Compliance Support aims to support and educate businesses in Greater Manchester and to help you get compliance right first time. You may be contacted by one of our officers in relation to your food hygiene inspection, which will help further develop your knowledge for what is needed. We are made up of the 10 boroughs of Greater Manchester, and we have a representative for each authority. Bolton, Bury, Manchester, Oldham, Rochdale, Salford, Stockport, Tameside, Trafford and Wigan. And these are some of the words we proudly use to describe our team and service. We are dedicated and reliable, safe and transparent. We're ambitious, we're professional, we're here to educate and assist your needs. If your business handles food, it will be subject to the food hygiene inspection. Some of you may be awaiting this, some of you may have already had a few and are here as a refresher. Environmental health officers can visit your premises to carry out a food hygiene inspection at any reasonable time to issue a food hygiene rating, unless you are a business where they need to arrange an appointment, such as a home caterer. The food hygiene ratings are as follows: 5, very good; 4, good; 3, generally satisfactory; 2, improvement necessary; 1, major improvement necessary; and 0, urgent improvement necessary. The score of your food hygiene inspection can have a large impact on your business. In terms of getting a good score, there are many benefits, including increased business and higher customer trust, a safer working environment for you and your staff, higher productivity, and the avoidance of future costs. Receiving a bad food hygiene rating can have a detrimental effect. Delivery platforms like Just Eat requires a food business to have at least a 3, so ensuring you get this correct is also vital if you're wanting to use these food delivery platforms. You'll also get decreased business. You're putting customers at risk. You have a higher chance of getting pest infestations, and you are likely to face enforcement like fines or premises closure, and this is a high cost. According to the Food Standards Agency, 51% of customers often check the food hygiene rating of a business. 68% of customers check the food hygiene rating from a sticker in the window. It's currently mandatory to display your food hygiene rating in the window in Northern Ireland and Wales. 86% of customers think businesses should be required to display their hygiene rating in England. So if this does become mandatory in England, you want to be able to display that score of a 4 or a 5. During an inspection, an environmental health officer will ask you a few questions to test your knowledge of food hygiene. They will look at your paperwork, they'll have a look around the premises, and there are 3 key areas to the inspection. Confidence in management. How the business manages to keep the food safe, for example, the processes, the training, and systems in place to ensure good hygiene is maintained. Food hygiene and safety. How hygienically the food is being handled, how it's being prepared, cooked, reheated, cooled, stored, and defrosted to prevent cross-contamination and food poisoning. They'll also look at the physical condition of the premises, looking at cleanliness and the layout, and the lighting and the ventilation, and also pest control. In terms of confidence in management, you must have a food safety management system in place for your business. Safer food, better business. or SFBB. It's a nationally recognised documentation pack and has been produced by the Food Standards Agency. This is a pack that most officers would recommend, as everything they check is included in it. It's easy to follow too. If you do use it, you're required to go through the pack and fill out all the relevant parts that are applicable to your business and its processes. It's available to download from the Food Standards Agency and available for caterers, retailers, Indian cuisine, Chinese cuisine in English and in Cantonese. It's available for childminders and for care homes, and there is also a butcher's pack available too. It must be reviewed regularly and updated if your food operations change. For example, if you have any changes in staff or equipment or changes in the way you provide and cook food. And this pack should always be available. Keep it on the food premises at all times. It should be a working document. These are the areas covered in the Safer Food, Better Business Pack. Here we'll refer to it as SFBB. The SFBB enables you to identify the potential hazards associated with your food business and the controls you put in place to ensure food is safe. It includes, as part of the pack, a daily diary where you can document the controls, checks, and monitoring that you have in place. You can use the sheets at the back to fill out your daily opening and closing checks. Officers want to see that this is a working document. If you've had a delivery that day, write it down. If you did any temperature checks of the delivery, write that down. Write down any temperature checks, checks of food, checks of the fridges or freezers, or if there have been any issues arising that day. It's all about writing down your procedures and making sure you follow these. Dependent on the nature of your business and what type of food or drink you sell, some of the pages may not apply to you. Example, if you're a cake business, the sections relating to cross-contamination of raw meat would not apply here. Therefore, just fill out the parts that are applicable to you. Staff must have food safety knowledge required to carry out their duties effectively. It is recommended that all staff handling food have at least a Level 2 food hygiene certificate, which should be refreshed every 3 years. There are lots of providers both online and in person in food hygiene, and it's strongly advised that you carry out food allergen training too. Food Standards Agency are currently offering free allergen training online. It's available at the FSA website, food.gov.uk. Officers will also be looking for the business to demonstrate a positive culture and that all staff are on board with food safety practices. The second element that officers will be looking at is your food hygiene and safety. This can be found in SFBB under the cross-contamination, cooking, cleaning and chilling sections. This part of the inspection is all about how hygienically the food is handled, how it's prepared, how it's cooked, reheated, how it's cooled and stored and defrosted. For example, you need to show that you're aware of how to check if certain foods are thoroughly cooked. If you're probing the food, it needs to be 80 degrees centigrade for at least 6 seconds, or 75 degrees centigrade for at least 30 seconds. If hot holding food, it needs to be kept safe at a temperature of 63 degrees centigrade or above. All this information can be found in the SFBB pack. Officers will also ask who supplies your food, and they'll want to see records of deliveries, notes of any visual checks made at the time of the delivery, and any temperatures monitored and recorded at the time of delivery. You should keep a record of what you have bought, who you have bought it from, the quantity, the date, and any allergen information. It is a legal requirement to have records confirming checks of the controls you have in place. There is an example and blank copies you can use at the back of the SFBB pack. Keep all your invoices and receipts of all food purchased. And that you've carried out temperature checks. One way of doing this is to keep written documents of your daily fridge and freezer temperatures. These can be recorded in the daily diary or in a separate sheet, like shown on screen. A notebook can also be used. Just make sure it's clearly labelled so staff know where to find it, how to record it, where to record it. Should you ever need a good defence in court, keeping written records of the checks would be one way of confirming that they had been carried out. This is your due diligence. Fridges should be set at 5 degrees or below to keep food at the legal 8 degrees or below. Freezers should be at -18 degrees centigrade or lower. And temperature checks may be made throughout the inspection by an officer. So keep these fridges and freezers clean, regular defrost freezers, ensure there's no damage to drawers or shelves that could cause risk of contamination. Contamination by storing individual foods in clean, sealed, food-safe containers. This can stop any contaminants such as objects, bacteria, and chemicals getting into the food. Follow packet instructions on how to store a food, ensuring you retain the batch numbers from any of the food packets you dispose of. Note down use-by dates of products on new storage containers. It is advised that you have a date labelling system in place. You can use stickers and date your food that you've prepared and cooked. Any items being kept in the fridge must be stored in a way which does not cause any cross-contamination. Raw and cooked meat must be kept separate, with raw meat below cooked meat on separate shelves. Unwashed salad and vegetables must be stored below ready-to-eat foods at all times and on separate shelves. It's recommended to prepare raw meat in a separate area and to store red raw meat chopping boards and utensils away from other boards to help prevent the spread of harmful bacteria. It's also recommended to wear a disposable apron when handling raw meat. You may be asked questions on how you ensure food reaches correct temperatures on cooking and cooling, and how you monitor and record this information. Use a disinfected temperature probe to check food is properly cooked or reheated. An example of a safe time and temperature combination for cooking or reheating is 75 degrees for at least 30 seconds. You can record it in the daily diary in the SFBB, noting down food tested and the temperature. It is essential to know that your probe is working properly, so you can rely on its readings. You can check it regularly, for example once a month, by following the manufacturer's instructions. A simple way to check a probe, a digital probe, is to put it in iced water and boiling water. The readings in iced water should be between -1 degree centigrade and 1 degree centigrade. The readings in boiling water should be between 99 degrees and 101 degrees centigrade. Hot holding, once it's cooked, needs to be kept at 63 degrees centigrade or above until it is served. You can keep it below 63 degrees centigrade for up to 2 hours. If it's not been used within these 2 hours, you should either cool the food as quickly as possible to a temperature of 8 degrees or below, or throw it away. When you're serving or displaying cold foods, they can be kept outside of the fridge for 4 hours, including preparation time. If any food is left after this time, you should either throw it away or put it back in the fridge before the 4 hours is up. It's very important to reheat food properly to kill harmful bacteria that may have grown since the food was cooked. Reheating means cooking again, not just warming up. Always reheat food until it's steaming hot all the way through. You can only reheat your food once. Officers will also check how clean your equipment and work surfaces are, and the general cleanliness of the business. They will check your chemical cleaning products are appropriate. It's good practice to have a cleaning schedule. Page 32 of the Safer Food Better Business goes into detail about cleaning and offers an example of a cleaning schedule on page 37. One of the most common reasons businesses are closed is due to poor cleaning. Here is an example from the Safer Food Better Business pack of cleaning and a cleaning schedule example. As you can see, it includes the item, frequency, precautions, and method of cleaning. Stage cleaning should be carried out. Stage 1 is hot soapy water to remove debris, and stage 2 is clean using a British Standard approved sanitizer or disinfectant with the BSEN number 1276 or 13697, followed by wiping down with a single-use paper towel. All disinfectants are different. Ensure you read the back of the bottle for the recommended contact time and dilution, as this can vary. Cloths can be one of the top causes of cross-contamination in a kitchen. It's essential to use them safely to prevent bacteria and allergens from spreading. The most hygienic way of cleaning surfaces is to use paper towels or blue roll that can be disposed of after a single use. If cloths are used to clean work surfaces, you must replace them after each use. They must be thoroughly washed, disinfected and dried properly between tasks, ideally on a hot 90-degree cycle. Facilities and personal cleanliness is crucial. Food handlers need to be aware of the importance of regular and effective hand washing and ensure that hand wash basins are equipped with both hot and cold running water, antibacterial soap, and hygienic drying facilities such as paper towels. These must be available at all times. Wash your hands before touching or handling food. Wash them after you've been to the toilet or after every break. Wash them after touching raw meat, poultry, fish, eggs or unwashed vegetables. Wash them after touching a cut or changing a dressing. Wash them after emptying the bins, after any cleaning, after touching any light switches, door handles, cash registers or money. If yourself or a member of staff have sickness or diarrhoea, you should not work in a food premises until 48 hours after symptoms have stopped. Before you start working with food, always wash your hands. Wear clean clothes. Wear an apron if needed. Take off your watch and jewellery. It's always a good idea to tie hair back and wear a hat or a hairnet. When you're working with food, there should be no smoking or vaping, or no eating or drinking. Avoid touching your face, coughing or sneezing over food, and if you have any cuts, cover them with brightly coloured waterproof dressings. Will also be looked at, including walls, floors, ceilings, lighting, maintenance, drainage, ventilation. Ensure everything is in good working order and free from anything that could cause bacterial buildup or pose a risk of contamination. It is good practice to clean your vents at least once a month or more frequently if required. Every 12 months you must have them checked by an external company to ensure they are well maintained. There is no flaky paint on walls that could fall into the food. Check your worktops and around the edges to ensure there is no chance of contamination. Bare wood is not acceptable in a food room. Here are some examples of what could cause contamination. The overall cleanliness of the structure will be assessed. mandatory requirement to have a separate wash hand basin in the food preparation area, and it must be used for hand washing only, with a supply of both hot and cold water, antibacterial soap, and hygienic drying facilities, such as disposable paper towels. Evidence of pest infestations will be looked for. You'll be asked about pest control and how it's managed. You should conduct regular checks. Know the signs of pest activity. Look for things such as visible droppings, damaged materials, foul odours, structural damage, gnaw marks in walls or wires. It's good practice to have pest control in place. Handling pest infestations poorly are one of the key reasons a business may be closed. And if you have an active infestation, you need to contact a professional to ensure it will be dealt with adequately. Need a trade waste contract in place. You cannot put trade waste in a domestic bin. Officers will ask you to show your trade waste contract, show who it is with, and they'll ask to see your paperwork, which needs to be kept for 2 years. You can be fined if you cannot produce it. Under Natasha's law, allergen information must be available to customers if they ask for it. You can use an allergen matrix to document these. Again, these can be found on the Food Standards Agency website and are free to download. On packaging, allergens will be highlighted in bold, so you can use this information to create your matrix. There are additional requirements for food, pre-packed for direct sale. Please check the Food Standards Agency website for further details, or you can find guidance on the Greater Manchester Business Compliance Support website. You can also undertake a free allergen training course available on food.gov.uk/allergens. Your food hygiene will cover the 3 key areas. Number 1, confidence in management. How the business manages keeping food safe. Processes, training, systems in place to ensure good hygiene is maintained. 2, food hygiene and safety. How hygienically the food is being handled, how it's being prepared and cooked and reheated and cooled, stored and defrosted to prevent cross-contamination and food poisoning. The physical condition of the premises will also be looked at. They'll look at cleanliness, layout, lighting and ventilation, and your pest control. You will be scored in each of these areas, and the combined total will make up your food hygiene rating from 0 to 5. Failure to comply in any one of these areas will affect your overall score. This brings us to the end of the presentation. I hope you found it really helpful and thank you for listening. If you have any questions for any of the representatives, please scan the QR code. You can ask any questions this way. We can get the relevant officer from your local authority to get in touch and answer for you. Please visit our website, which has loads more guidance on there for various topics, and email in if you have any further questions in the future. Thank you for listening. I hope this was helpful. Take care.